Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Paul Bartholomew. This is I Want to Hold Your Band. And today's guest is writer Sam Catlin. He was a writer on the amazing show Breaking Bad. He's a writer and showrunner, or was on the AMC show Preacher, as well as the upcoming season of the Apple show Sugar. Just a super talented guy. Also, really incredible playwright as well. We have been friends for, wow, over 20 years. That seems crazy. Is that right? Yeah. Over 20 years. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm back. As is always the case with friends that I have on, it's just really such a meaningful opportunity to drop in and learn about them in a way I might not have known. And it's really awesome. And I'm so grateful to have that opportunity. And Sam is incredibly insightful. He is wickedly and darkly funny in a way that I absolutely love. And beneath all that delicious sardonic wit is just a really lovely, one might say gentle man. Yep. So we talked the Beatles, Alanis Morissette, Alanis, U2, 10,000 Maniacs, Van Morrison, a bunch more. Yeah, it's a great conversation. And as you would expect from a really talented writer, he just puts into words so many great thoughts about not only what music means to him, but what it means to us. And I just love talking to him, and I just love him. So that's it. I hope you enjoy the episode. If you haven't subscribed and you listen, please hit that subscribe button. That would be amazing. I hope you enjoy the episode, and without further ado, I give you Mr. Sam Catlin. Okay, so the first thing I always start out with is the first piece of music, artist, album that you remember coming into your life when you were younger.
I think it was, I don't know why I was given this, but it was the greatest hits, the Blue Album and the Red Album of the Beatles.
I saw that on your list.
Yeah.
Seeing that specific thing, I thought, oh, there's got to be something to that. Like visually, you maybe remember that, or
I do. I remember because it was, weren't they looking down from the balcony as youngsters, and then as long-haired freaks in their later years?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody gave me, so I think I was in third grade is what I remember. And so, I don't know, that was probably not too long after they had broken up. And I was probably late 70s, something like that. I will say, though, that there's something about, and I don't know if it's probably some combination of just the Beatles, but also just a period of time. I can still remember the lyrics to those songs. I can sing along to all of them. I couldn't, if it started to play, I'd know every beat, every word.
Right.
But, there's certain songs, there's Kanye West stuff that I was like, God, I just love it, and I can't memorize it. I can't retain lyrics in the same way that I did as a kid, but also just there's something in the simplicity of the Beatles. And
so those two albums, what was your step? So you had your room, you had a sibling, you have a brother.
I had sort of a Brady Bunch family in the sense that my parents were divorced and they got remarried, and so I was living with stepbrothers and stepsisters, but then my real brother went to go live with my mom in New York, so it was a shattered household. Yeah, I turned on Eleanor Rigby in my room and I just sort of sobbed into my pillow. But yeah, I think I must have listened to in my room. It wasn't like we all sat around the table and took turns.
Right.
It wasn't communal.
Right.
It was very much, most everything I do is a sort of siloed, isolated
experience.
Yeah.
To that end,
music.
Do you remember any of the siblings or step-siblings or anyone in and out? Did anyone inform or influence your music?
No.
None of that.
No. Door was shut. I don't remember. Like I said, it was never communal. It was never I've always had sort of I used to joke that I'd rather share my porn history than my playlist.
Why?
Because I've always been self-conscious about it. Less so recently with the advent of the algorithms finding you music.
Yeah.
But I always felt self-conscious that I didn't listen to cool music.
Yeah.
Everyone was at a certain point going off on the Dead, and everyone liked John more than they liked Paul. And it's like, I like Paul. They're like, but John's deeper. He's the poet. And I was like, but I like Paul. And so I always thought my music was poppy and, I liked U2 while everyone else was listening to, I don't know, the Grateful Dead and jazz, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I always felt like for many years that, my music taste was uncool. I think empirically it was. Maybe cool is not the right word, but a lack of adventure, in curiosity. I like music.
Oh, that's
I'm just
interesting.
like, I don't really care for music. That's not true. But I've never, I respect people. It's like, it's a passion. Like how much time they devoted to exploring new music. And I think that as I think about it now, it's a lack of adventurousness, a lack of daring was my music choices. And other things too, like food. I've always sort of played it safe. And I think the algorithm, ever since iTunes or whatever, would say like, hey, if you like this, you might like this. Like the kinds of music and the variety of artists, since that's come out, for all the negative things we want to say about the algorithm, it's grown exponentially. I used to live from like U2 album to Van Morrison to like, I had a really short, compressed playlist of stuff.
Right.
And then in the last, 20 years, I just listened to a lot more stuff. Some of that is also just having kids, because you're just like listening to stuff that you wouldn't normally.
Right.
So this idea that I was ashamed of my playlist is a little bit dated, but like for a long time, my music choice I just felt like was a representation of my caution about life.
I mean, when those things go on, you can look back and analyze them. But when it was happening, it wasn't like you were consciously thinking about it, or you just heard some songs. You're like, I like these. I'm just going to stick with these. I mean, did you actively say, no, I'm not going to try that because, and thinking back on it?
I don't know. I don't know if I had a conscious sense of being incautious, but I do remember like starting high school and like, oh, it's The Unforgettable Fire by U2. It's like, this is great. And then like 2 months later, everyone's into the Dead. And I was like, wait, what? I thought we were going to be listening to U2.
Right.
And then it's like, God, everyone was so into the Dead. And I would listen. And people started playing acoustic guitars and then sharing bootlegs of like UVM 82. And it's just like, it feels like I can't access this music at all. It feels like music that hasn't made up its mind or something. I used to go to Dead shows just to get drugs in the parking lot. I've only been to one Dead show, but like I feel like I lost friends to the Grateful Dead.
Really? That because they were so into it and you weren't? They're
They got swept up in it, something. And I never got swept up in music in that same way.
But see, that's interesting, like going back and being gentle with high school Sam. Holding him like this.
Okay.
Is, first of all, I mean, as far as like me growing up in a smaller town in Texas, whatever, Unforgettable Fire was it was also like a very, I mean, it wasn't like indie, but it kind of was. I mean, especially Unforgettable. It wasn't like it was Joshua Tree or Rattle and Hum or the later.
Yeah.
And your list of things has got great stuff. It's like, also maybe you just feel like it should be cooler or something. But it's pretty, and what is cool, I don't know, but like with music, but
I mean, I think music is like, I think this is like, not to blow smoke, but that's why I think this is such an interesting idea, this podcast, because it really does say a lot about a person. You know what I mean? It's like what they're looking for. It's very personal. It's not just like what kind of shoes you wear, although that's personal too. But so I think whatever sort of psychological things that I feel about being incautious, or there is something, I mean, I'll say this, I don't mean to be beating up on the Grateful Dead, but like there was something about the lack of anger that I really resist, the lack of passion and a sort of an agreed, what I interpreted as a sort of a facile utopianism about the world.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that in my life that I sort of bristle at, which is a sort of the fact also that everyone decided that they liked it all of a sudden really, bugged me. So that starts to reveal things about me, which is a sort of misanthropic. But I'm not. I mean, there's a part of me that bristles at sort of movements of things and bristles at, like Unforgettable Fire at the time, you're right, was very indie. It was like what they would call one of those college bands back in the day. It's a college band.
And they weren't being played on the regular rotation. They weren't pop hits, and that was big pop hits time.
Right.
I mean, we're talking Unforgettable Fire was 1984. So 1984, we're talking, radio, K105.
Thriller.
A Thriller.
Although I did like Thriller. Thriller's pretty great.
So it is, though, like what you said, that's what I have found so much, and I always give before a song that I don't know so well or don't know at all, and I play it. The guest I know sitting here, music's very personal, and everyone is very vulnerable. Because I feel it. I sweat bullets when I play something for somebody. Like maybe there's a group, I'm like, everybody listen to this song, and you start turning on, you're like, they may not like it. For me, this trauma of cool currency that like I play something, and even though I love it, and it's not going to change that I love it, that I don't know what I think, actually. I don't know what I think. I just know I get very nervous, and I sweat a lot, and my face starts to turn red. But I have noticed that everyone that sits in that chair, when they play a song that I don't know, they'll go, we could go forward. It gets better. It's like I'm like, no, let's go. Let's ride it out. I have never heard a song yet when I'm doing this that I don't get into in the moment. I may not play it again, but I dig it. But it's very personal. You feel very vulnerable because you're so emotionally tied up in the song.
It's absolutely true what you say. I think as age goes on, as you get older, there becomes more and more of like, I don't fucking care. This is just me. You make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
But like I see it very intensely in our youngest son, who will play not just music, but a movie or a thing, and he will play it for you, and then he will watch you.
Yes.
He will watch you, and not only do you have to like it, but you have to like it to the same intensity. And I don't know what that is. I feel like it's like you have an experience of something. I have this sometimes going to see a play or a movie. Usually it's, I don't like it. But then when people come out and say they liked it or this or that, or there's something about, even though we all intellectually say we all want to have different opinions and what's good for you, maybe someone else doesn't like it.
What you're saying.
I understand that, the diversity of experience, but when I see something that I love and somebody else is like, or vice versa, mostly vice versa, then I feel a sort of like almost like a cosmic isolation. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Cosmic isolation.
Like we're all alone in the universe if you think that show is good.
Cosmic isolation.
Yeah. I still have the veneer of denial about taking personally, because of course you're right, it is personal. But what I say in my head is like, it's a breakdown. It's a societal breakdown in standards.
That's what
like, how is this, but
that's where we
taste
go.
and opinions. It's just like, it's strong stuff.
Okay, so let's dive into which, by the way, you said, do you remember, was there any music downstairs? Do you remember your parents having any sort of music or listening or having?
My dad listened to classical music. He was a big fan of classical music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kind of had it playing like in the background, or just, do you ever remember him playing it or listening?
He had his own little study where he would listen to classical music. He sang in a church choir, and he has a singing voice, and he tried to get me into classical music, which eventually I did start to listen to classical music, but long after I'd left the house.
Yeah. You remember by chance the first piece of music you bought?
It's funny because what pops into my head is the first CD that I bought.
Really?
When CDs first started coming out in like the mid-'80s, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And this was before they were just cellophane wrapped in the actual plastic jewel case, where they came in a box.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, an extended box, which was wasteful, obviously, but it was a way of sort of flipping through a bin of CDs.
Yes.
And I remember the first CD I got was Van Morrison's No Guru, No Method, No Teacher. I don't know why. It's a slightly obscure Van Morrison album.
I don't know that album.
It's a great album, but I remember that, and it was someplace on 2nd Avenue in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the tracks from that? Is there...
Sure, yeah. Tir na nog, which is Van Morrison sings about all these sort of mythical Irish. Yeah, I mean, I still I can't remember the last time I listened to that album, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but I listened. I had a lot of Van Morrison albums.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you just kind of come upon him? Was that the first album, somebody said?
I mean, there was probably Moondance and So Brown Eyed Girl, all those things that I'd probably heard on the radio.
Okay, so let's go to a second one. This is very interesting to me, and I so appreciate this is one of your artists which is unfair of me. I didn't expect. I was like, oh, one of your artists is Alanis Morissette and the album Jagged Little Pill.
Oh yeah. It's
a really cool thing to me that but tell me how it came to you and
because of my notorious misogyny.
Yeah. So, how did that album come into your life?
I don't think filling out this questionnaire that you sent over I think a lot of it is sort of free associated. I think it wasn't until I'd seen this Alanis Morissette documentary a couple of years ago. I think that I really realized wow, that was the 90s music. And the songwriting on that is so powerful. It just felt like just a period of my life in the mid-90s. There was that album, and then the one after that was also really strong, I think.
Did you kind of revisit, after you saw a documentary, did you revisit remembering listening to it? It's from 95, that album.
Yeah, for sure I listened to it a lot at the time. I probably didn't appreciate it as much as I do now because it was so popular.
Yeah.
We just watched this Billy Joel documentary.
And
it was the same thing. It was like, God, I know so many of these songs. These songs still resonate. I didn't go start listening to Billy Joel songs after listening to the album. I mean, after watching the documentary. It wasn't like, oh, I didn't go down memory lane.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow, there's he's got 10 songs that really live in me,
Yeah.
And
that's a great way to say it.
And her album, her music as well. So, I mean, the power of it is just incredible. And the lyrics is just so... We did a play. I used to be an actor, and we did a play. There was this experimental play, which was, with people covered in body paint speaking into microphones, type of stuff that I normally hate, walking on a grid. But we had this incredible director who was directing us, who really knew his stuff. And there was an Alanis Morissette song. I can't even remember what it was, but it was so, it's so it's just an anthem. It's just you want to go to war.
She's very anthemic, yeah.
So yeah, that definitely.
Okay, let's talk about, how about, this is a guy that I still don't know Bob Marley in the way that people, know, but you have as one of your favorite albums, Bob Marley Live, which is from 1975. Was it at that time, or did you come to it later?
Later, in the early 80s. It's funny because Bob Marley and reggae, like Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, I listened to reggae intensely. I listened to reggae and Van Morrison in the 80s. 90% was either reggae or... I do not listen to reggae anymore. I don't. I'm done. There's no song by Bob Marley I ever need to hear again. I don't need to hear Aretha Franklin's Respect ever again.
Right.
I don't need to hear No Woman, No Cry ever again. For some reason, my time with that music, those songs, I think maybe I over-listened to it.
Yeah. Oh, I totally.
I exhausted it.
I kind of have that a little bit. I'm starting to here and there. I had that with U2. I was deep into U2. I mean, so much. And I don't go to them much anymore.
I haven't listened to U2. And that's a perfect example. Yeah.
And they were rattle and hum for me. I I loved it so much. And then maybe that's where I started, or maybe it was Joshua Tree where I started, then Rattle and Hum. And then I looped back into Unforgettable Fire or Wide Awake in America, those like albums. But I didn't, I listened to them so much. It's interesting. I feel like maybe the 80s was a big reggae time. Was it, would you say? Because
I think
I remember
for like
it.
sort of privileged white kids.
Yeah, well, I went
It
to
was sort of,
yeah.
I don't know why. I guess it was sort of tapping into something rebellious, and it's all very political. Not all, but Bob Marley, there was some sense of a struggle
Yeah.
that was being waged and fought that, I don't know, as a adolescent you just kind of tap into.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly what you say. Like a lot of the stuff that's on my list, like I don't ever need to hear it ever.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear Pride in the Name of Love. It's an amazing song.
Amazing.
I remember the video. I
just-
thought Bono was the coolest dude in the world.
Oh. How about I want to know about because I don't know this song, and I listened to 2 seconds of it, but I haven't listened to the whole thing, so maybe we could listen to a little. It's one of your sadness songs, which is Verdi Cries by 10,000 Maniacs. 1987. Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
is that from the time, or did you kind of did you re-loop back into appreciating that, or yeah?
I haven't heard that song in 10 years, at least 20 years maybe.
Really?
Yeah, because I went through I had as you know, a sort of a troubled youth in the sense that there was a lot of drugs and alcohol and depression and a lot of sort of like, not that this is unusual, but a sort of like super angsty adolescence and a lot of drugs and isolation. And this was like, I would just have this like sadness porn, for lack of a better word, like this complete, the sadness. Just, I don't know why I was so drawn to it, but I think people are, when they're sad, they want to hear sad songs. It feels affirming, or it feels like it's putting your problems or your thoughts in a sort of artistic framework or something like that. Like, yes, I'm desperately sad. I'm artistically sad.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're connected to, like that your feeling is a sort of feeling that exists outside of you, that it's just sort of part of the rhythms of the planet.
Yeah, yeah. Let's listen to a little of that song, because
Very nice.
I don't know it. So we're going to listen to Verdi Cries from 1987 album In My Tribe by the 10,000 Maniacs. Oh my God, that song is amazing. 10 seconds in, I started to get emotional just based on the tone and her voice and the music. And that's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song.
God.
And I don't know what there's a lot of the lyrics I can't quite follow, but some of it's,
Yeah, what is she saying? Or what's your general sense when she's talking?
I feel the bath and climb inside. Like, I don't know what she's talking. It feels like to me, what I hear is a man listening to music that's bringing back an isolated man listening to music that's evoking memories. The opera, the burning sea.
Verdi, is it in like Giuseppe Verdi? Like
no,
opera?
it's talking about opera.
Oh.
So I think he's remembering the song. I think the opera is keeping him company in his solitude.
God. So this leads to a question. Like when you hear music, your boys play you a song, or and they're staring at you.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Do you hear the music? Do you hear the lyrics? Especially as a writer, do you listen to hear the lyrics? Do you hear the music and the first pass of the song? And I say this, for example, I heard that. I didn't hear one word that she said. All I heard is the tone of her voice, the music, the violin, how it shifted key in an unexpected, great way that I like to then bring us back. And without any words, it brought so much emotion to me, right? So what do you hear when you first hear something?
Well, it's hard to say because that's not the first time I heard that. But
Right.
right before you played it, I said, I know how it ends. I know exactly how it ends. I remembered that. And it's the strings.
I
right?
saw
think
you
that's
doing a
cello.
little with it as it.
Like that resolution of it. It's just so heartbreaking. And then there's fragments of the lyrics that come through where she says, ellipse, whatever comes before, years ago. Just heartbreaking. It's about memory, and I feel like there's a story there.
Yeah.
You know, and I picture a man in a bathtub by himself, and I don't know. Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Great song.
Yeah,
That's a
beautiful.
great song to lean into your sadness.
For sure.
And just
It's great.
feel. That's great. I love you brought that into my life, Sam. Great. It's going on my list. Let's go. Oh, let's go to a pump up song. I'm so curious of this pump up song. I know this song, "Alive and Kicking" from
God, yeah.
1985. Simple Minds. The
Another
album's
85 song,
Once Upon a Time.
yeah,
85.
mid-eighties.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the same time, maybe we could do a 1-2 punch of also then a sadness song, "Life in a Northern Town," 1985. It's interesting. 1985. What were you? What grade? What were you?
85, I would say, like, to me, it's funny because, like, we think of the years, right? You look back and they have these different sort of neighborhoods or chapters or epochs, however you want to break them up, like, you know. And some, like, 84, 85, 86, 87 were, like, incredibly painful years for me, you know.
Was that 10,000 Maniacs song?
Yeah, it's all in there.
1987. Yeah.
And so I was really lost, but not in a, you know, I wasn't
In a typical, like,
in a typical adolescent way,
Yeah.
but like plus drug addiction.
Right.
And so in a way that feels like psychically on a pie chart, 84, 85, 86, 87 is a much bigger percentage of my
Yeah.
life, of my
Yeah.
psychic life.
right. Oh,
Then-
that's a great point.
It's really like, whereas the last 20 years since I've been married and had kids and stuff like that, it's just like, it's a blur. You know, there's no 4-year span that is as is not even like, I was about to say eventful, but just like
Impactful, kind of.
impactful. I don't know why. It just really, and I was so unhappy. I don't know. I think like I was so unhappy then. And so music, I don't know, maybe it's too easy to say like I relied on it more or something like that, but like
I don't know. That
it
makes
really
sense.
kept me company in a way that I don't need music to keep me company as much,
Right.
you know, these days. But then I think I really needed it. I think I needed to have some sort of context of artistic suffering or beautiful suffering. You
Yeah.
know, like, okay, I'm suffering, but at least this song is telling me that it's a sort of meaningful suffering,
Right.
as opposed to just like, you're a balding drug addict. Loser. And it's like, no, there's strings. Which, you know, we all, I mean, I think that's what music helps us do. That it gives us a sort of a scale,
Yeah.
adds a scale to our lives that we may not know that it has. You know, I think actually, as I'm thinking about this song, I think it had a lot, it does have that same anthemic quality that I think attracted me to U2 at this time too, which is a sense of like, I don't know, just like mountains, and I'm going to be involved in it. That it felt like you're part of something big. I used to have this fantasy because I was such a isolated, aimless person, young man, that I had this fantasy of being kidnapped by the CIA. And sort of, I think this was as a result of maybe La Femme Nikita, which came a little bit after that. But like I had this fantasy of being kidnapped and being forcibly trained to fight or kill or ride horses or learn languages or something like that, that I had been given a structure and a direction in my life that I couldn't somehow find for myself.
Wow.
That I would have some interested party, some powerful interested party sort of take over my life, say, you're good at this, go do this, and do this important thing. And that my life would have a sort of significance to it.
Did you ever think about the military in that regard then?
Nah, that was too
Too
No,
hard.
but you know what? The important part wasn't what was essential wasn't that like, hey, I'm going to join the CIA. It was like, no, I need to be forcibly. I had to be kidnapped because I had no trust in my own abilities of discipline or work or anything like that. So this idea that I would have a life imposed on me, a structure imposed on me, was part of the attraction.
Wow.
Which I think, now that I think about it, my work now, because since later in life I discovered discipline, and now perhaps to a fault work too hard. But anyways, in terms of Simple Minds, there was a sense of like, this song is like, you're part of something, You're really just like part of this big, and it's joyous. I think it is joyous, but it is also feels a little bit like a battle cry, a little bit.
Yeah. It's interesting. I wonder if you saw, because I probably remember a fair amount more music videos than I think. But this music video, I think he's standing on a cliff, alive and kicking.
Yeah, they're on a cliff.
Yeah. It was since you said mountains and like that imagery for you.
That's right.
Anthemic, Unforgettable Fire. I think the album covers them
by a castle.
It's very like
that's very interesting observation. I think that's true.
That's great.
Music videos were such a thing.
I loved music videos. They were such a thing. I mean, I go back and see them, and I'm just reminded. Like I would videotape them,
right?
And
they would announce a premiere like a week from today.
Yes.
MTV world premiere of
Thriller,
Police, or Thriller.
Oh, I mean, that was
huge. It was
yeah. And then other ones would just come on, and I felt like it was this like clubhouse. It was this really amazing radio station that just, being wherever they lived probably, but being in a smaller town in Texas, I don't know, I just felt connected to like the world, and like that I was cool, and I remember that video though. I remember Alive and Kicking. Well, Sam, this is great. It was everything I hoped it would be, as far as just like tapping into your, to your early days and what music was and is to you. So,
I enjoyed being here.
And I love having that song in my life now.
Good.
It's great. Thanks, Sam.
Nice call.